Hello class, and welcome to Grade 9 English for the 19th of May 2020. Today we are going to review the lesson from last week about I don't feel well and using the word when. This will follow along with the mini review in your textbooks. So if you want to look at pages 62 and 63, they will prepare you for your assignment for this week. First, let's have a review and check yourself on the new vocabulary. I will show you an image. I will show you a photo, and you write the word that goes with the image. I will show you an image or picture, and you write the vocabulary word that goes with the picture. Here's number 1. There's a picture of someone holding a tissue. What do you think the vocabulary word could be? The answer is a cold. When I have a cold, I often have to sneeze. Here's the next one. This man looks like he has pain. Where is his pain? The answer is an earache. When I have an earache, I usually take ear drops. Ear drops are medicine that goes inside my ear when I have an earache. What about this picture? This person looks very sick. They look like they have a thermometer, so maybe they have a temperature. They're also putting ice on their head. The nose is red, and they have many kinds of medicine and a big box of tissues. What do you think the sickness could be? The answer is the flu. When I have the flu, I usually have to stay in bed for 2 or 3 days. I usually have to stay in bed 2 or 3 days when I have the flu. Here's another one. What's wrong with this boy? It looks like he has pain. Where does he have pain? He has a headache. Notice the sound at the end of the word. Even though there's a CH, we do not pronounce it ch. We pronounce headache. It sounds more like the letter K. A headache. When I have a headache, I will take some medicine. Or, when I have a headache, I usually need to drink more water. What about this boy? What do you think is wrong with him? The answer is he has a sore throat. When I have a sore throat, I like to drink warm liquids, like tea. When I have a sore throat, I like to drink warm liquids, like tea. What about this picture? There are lots of flowers, and looks like there's pollen coming off the flowers and going in his nose, making his nose red, and it looks like it makes him want to sneeze. What do you think is the problem? The answer is allergies. Allergies. When I have allergies, I have to take a special medicine. When I have allergies, I have to take a special medicine. Now let's review some of our grammar from last week, specifically the word when. Use this word in talking about time and in places where we need to refer to what we're doing. For example, when I am sick, I go to the doctor. Or you can use when for an instance when you want to ask a question about a specific situation. What do you do when you have a cold? What do you do when you have a cold? You don't always have a cold, but you do sometimes. So the question is about those times when you have a cold. The answer: when I have a cold, I take cold medicine. When I have a cold, I take cold medicine. Another example that we reviewed from last week: what does your sister do when she has an English test? The answer: when my sister has an English test, she stays up late to study. The final example: what do you do when you are hungry? What do you do when you are hungry? The answer: when I am hungry, I eat a sandwich. When I am hungry, I eat a sandwich. Practice using when to ask a question and also to tell an answer. For your homework today, practice these 3 exercises. Number 1, complete pages 62 and 63 in your Connect 3 student book. Connect pages 62 and 63. This is a mini review and will look at the vocabulary that you have learned, as well as practicing the correct grammar. Also, there are exercises for using adverbs. Be sure and practice changing adjectives into adverbs. Look at the examples on page 62 for any assistance. Number 2, write 6 sentences when using vocabulary and when. Write 6 sentences using vocabulary and the word when. You can refer to the previous examples or look at some of the examples that you might find in your student book. When I am sick, when I am tired, I do this. When I am bored, I do this. Use examples like that to write 6 sentences using your vocabulary and when. Also, listen and practice the VOA Learning English Lesson 4. I will send you the YouTube video link through our Facebook Messenger group chat. One more thing, if you want extra practice, try to find videos that talk about your health. You can find more and many different kinds of videos on YouTube talking about your health and how you can do what things you can do when you have a cold, when you have allergies, when you have the flu. Try and find some English videos like that and ask questions like when. If you find a good video, feel free to share it with the class. Talk about it, or if there's something you don't understand, you can send a message to the group or send a message to the teacher. It will be interesting to see what kinds of health videos you could find. What do you do when you're sick? I would like to hear your answers. Be sure and write them in your sentences and share them with the rest of the group. Do well reviewing these assignments, and as always, if you have any other questions, you can always ask me using Facebook Messenger. I'll be happy to check your work and give you some feedback. Have a good day, and don't forget to practice English every day. Bye-bye.